Howdy folks, and I hope you're all happy and healthy out there in collecting land, and welcome back to the channel for another 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. And today we're going to be taking a deep dive into EXO-6's take on Hikaru Sulu, aka George Takei, as he appears in the original series of Star Trek, and more specifically the fourth episode of the second season, Mirror Mirror, originally aired in October 1967, I believe, when Mr. Go Figure was not even a year old. How time flies. Usual format for the review, as always. Box, accessories, figure, and finishing with the usual showcase at the end. And please, drop a like on this video and help other people find the channel. And if you haven't already, please mash that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're not missing any of the good stuff that's coming up on the channel. Trust me, there's a lot of it. So, if there's anyone out there in the universe who doesn't know this classic episode, and I find that hard to believe, Mirror Mirror sees Kirk, Bones, Scotty and Uhura beamed into a parallel universe following a transporter malfunction. Yes, Star Trek were exploring the multiverse in 1967. I'll let that sink in. On arrival back on the Enterprise, they find it populated by evil and violent counterparts of the crew. Q, probably one of the most popular and revisited Star Trek episodes of all time. So this figure was released alongside the Mirror Universe Spock and was one of the first out of Nanjin Tam's EXO-6 stable. But that's enough of my ramblings. On to this box. Let's stop it from spinning and take a close-up look. Very nice presentation from EXO-6 on this one. What you've got on the front here is a picture of Hikaru Sulu himself. This is the actual figure, not the actor. Very, very nice photo. It says Star Trek across the top there in this lovely silver foil lettering. And as with all the early releases of the Star Trek figures, especially the original series, it's got this sort of foil image that goes around the front and the side of all the main crew members themselves. Really, really nicely done. I do like the presentation on these figures, and it's the same with the Mirror Universe Spock. It says Sulu, Mirror Universe, bottom left-hand corner, 6 scale figure, bottom right-hand corner, EXO-6 logo at the top. Around the sides, you've got the Starfleet emblem there. On this side, obviously a continuation of that image. Around the back, you've got a picture of the figure and all the accessories that come with the figure and a list of those accessories. And at the bottom here, you've got all the usual warnings and credits and so on. Don't piss this figure off, or it might assassinate you in an attempt to take command. Slipcover design, this one. As with most of the early EXO-6 boxes, we'll just whip it off so you can have a look. Underneath, obviously, you are greeted with the figure itself underneath a window, the normal window plastic there. Obviously, not in the box, this one. It's not a brand new figure to me. Been in the collection a while. Around the back, when you take off the slipcover, you've got the specific credits there. There's Nanjin Tam's name and everybody responsible for the production of this figure. So there you have it. That's the box. Very nicely presented, very sort of classy, very high-end looking. So let's, without further ado, dive down onto the table and have a look at all the accessories that come with your evil Sulu. Okay folks, here we are down on the table with all the accessories that come with your EXO-6 Mirror Universe Sulu figure. We will start as we always do with the hands. You know me and my hands. There are 8 hands in total. There's a pair already on the figure, which we'll take a look at when we bring the figure out. So yeah, you've got four pairs in total. All kinds of different hands here for gripping the accessories. We'll grab a couple at random. You've got fisted hands, you have open palm hands, gripping hands, and we'll just grab a couple here and take a close-up look. Sculpt here looks pretty good. It's perhaps not the best I've seen. There are some visible seam lines on there, but the creasing is nice on the palms of the hands. There's some bone work and vein work in the back of the hands. The paint applications are pretty good. There's multiple paint applications there to pick out the skin tones. There's sculpted in fingernails. So on the whole, pretty good. Let's do the flexibility test. Yeah, you're looking at a medium to soft here, so shouldn't be any issues with gripping the accessories and posing the figure. So yeah, that's a sort of open palm hand. You have a fisted hand here, same level of paint applications and sculpt, pretty good overall. Pretty good hands, yeah, and as I say, a wide variety of gripping hands for all the other accessories. So that's the hands, yeah. We're off to a pretty good start there. Those hands are pretty good. Perhaps not the best I've ever seen, but they're up there. They're up there with the relatively high standards of hands. So what else do you get? Let's take a quick look at the weapons. Now, it comes with two weapons. It comes with the standard issue Starfleet phaser. Really nicely done. This. It's the same with the Mirror Universe Spock figure, and there'll be a link to that review at the end of this one. Pretty much the swap over accessories, but yeah, screen accuracy is on point. Paint applications are really good. You've got this sort of a blue body here, which is the right shade, and it's sort of smacks of Nanjing Tam's attention to detail here. You've got the silver paint applications on the firing end, just really nicely done, really nicely painted, really nicely sculpted, and its party piece is the top phaser. The other phaser section actually clips out and is magnetically held in place. Reason for that being, this phaser can actually be attached to the figure itself via this magnet, and also there's another magnet on the side of the phaser as well, so you can attach this by magnet to the figure as well, which we'll take a look at when we bring the figure out. So yeah, that clips back in place, but some nice silver paint applications, little red button there, just really well done and screen accurate. So that is the phaser. You also get his knife. The preferred weapon in the Mirror Universe is the dagger. All one piece of sculpted plastic, relatively simple. You've got a black and silver sheath here, some silver paint applications on the top. Once again, a magnet on the back so it can be attached to the figure. And the blade itself, the knife itself, which is relatively simple. Rather nice, unique shape with a silver paint application on there to give it that metallic look. So yeah, that's the dagger. Pop that to one side. Standard issue communicator, Starfleet communicator. Where would we be without that? I've got to be careful here with this, with my sausage fingers. But yeah, really, really nicely done this with the gold grill on the front there, which is hinged and opens up to reveal the speaker on the inside. The yellow, red and blue buttons have been picked out, as has the control dials at the bottom there in that nice silver paint application. Very, very simple sculpt, but nice paint applications and very screen accurate. Just good attention to detail from EXO-6 there. And once again, a magnet on the back so it can be attached to the figure. So yeah, that's your communicator. I think I do like these. I don't know why. Several of these with several of my Star Trek figures, and I've got a real soft spot for the communicators. I just think they're really, really well done by EXO-6 in 1/6 scale there. So yeah, that's the communicator. Finally, the base. Collectors of EXO-6 figures will recognise this base instantly. It's used with pretty much all their Star Trek figures. It's this hexagonal base with a clear plastic cover and this sort of inlay, which is meant to represent a transporter pad. Relatively simple. As I say, just one piece of sculpted plastic with this section on the top, which is removable, and I will try and do this on camera. As I say, collectors of EXO-6 will recognise this. This clear plastic section comes off if you're wanting to do this. It takes a little bit of futzing sometimes because it's attached in each corner, and sometimes one corner will get stuck, so you have to remove them all individually. But yeah, it's got a removable inlay on the inside, and if you are wanting to, and if this thing will come out, I think it's been in here for a long time and it doesn't want to move. Let me just try and get a fingernail underneath here. I think there's a lot of static cling going on here. If you leave them on for any length of time, they do not want to come off. There we go. So yeah, you can replace the inlay with this one. Now, it's got this sort of curved shape at the top here, and what you do is, and this is sort of the final accessory really, never unpack these because I don't display the figure in this sort of format, but it's an option if you're wanting to do it. These little plastic clips in the bag here actually attach to the base, so once you put the this cover back on, what you can actually do is clip multiple bases together, so you can have them displayed in a large circle, make it look like they're all on the transporter pad together, or alternatively you can connect them at either side or on any of the flat points of the hexagonal shape, and the clip simply slots over the edge there and attaches to the next base, holding it in place. So yeah, you can create all kinds of weird and wonderful patterns in your display if you're that way inclined. But yeah, it comes with the standard issue EXO-6 crotch grabber. Well, it's slightly different to the normal crotch grabber. What you've got is this groove in the back of the stand itself, and if you find one of these slots on the base here where you can see the black sections of plastic, you simply slot that over the top like that, and it can take a little bit of futzing sometimes to get them to slot in, but yeah, when you find the sweet spot, the crotch grabber sits in place, and yeah, you can sit the figure on top of it. So that is the stand. So yeah, that's all the accessories that come with the figure. So without further ado, let's bring out Hikaru himself, get him onto this stand, onto the turntable, and take a close-up look at him. Okay folks, so here he is. It's George Takei himself, aka Hikaru Sulu, onto the stand, onto the turntable. Can't give first impressions here, obviously, because it's not a new figure to me, but yeah, he's been stowed away in the details for quite a while and come out for this review, and I have to say, getting up close and personal with him again for the first time in a long time, I am still super impressed with this figure, as I was with the Spock figure, the Mirror Universe Spock figure. Proportions absolutely spot on. Well, actually, I'll chuck in a caveat there, but we'll come to that shortly. The outfit absolutely nailed on. Head sculpt looks brilliant. Just another outstanding piece of work from Nanjin Tam and the team. But we'll do as we always do. We'll have a close-up look at this guy. We will start at the bottom and work our way up. So let's stop him from spinning and get him closer into camera. And straight away, yeah, it's an impressive piece. It really is. And I couldn't help but put him in a little bit of a pose here. One of the iconic moments in the TV show where he's actually playing with that Terran Empire knife. But yeah, let's get him off this stand and get up close. We'll start with the feet and these boots. Really nicely done, these boots. Now, I believe these are pleather, but they seem to be standing the test of time quite well. Had this figure a while now, and although don't go in for too much dynamic posing with the boots, they seem to be standing up quite well. They're exactly the right style, with this Cuban heel going up to the knee there, with this slight slant dropping off towards the back of the knee area. Stitch work's really nice. There doesn't seem to be any flaking or distressing. He said confidently, and looks like there's a little bit starting to happen here on the on this left boot. Looks where that seam is actually sewn in now. I don't know whether that's dust or whether. Looks like it could be starting to go a little bit. Might have to give that another treatment with Aerospace 303. But yeah, they're nicely done. They've got this print in them, these boots, which is screen accurate, almost a leather print in there. They're pegged straight into the feet, and there's plenty of movement there. But I would recommend being probably cautious with the posing on these boots, simply because you know, we know what happens to pleather. It does not stand the test of time very well. But yeah, the stitch work is nice, screen accuracy is there, and yeah, just completely on point. Moving up to the pants now, same as with the Mirror Universe Spock figure here, same material, this lovely, it has a silk quality to it. Now, I don't think it is silk, I think it's a man-made fibre. But the stitch work is really nice and completely screen accurate. You know me and my stitch work and how I feel about incorrect and inaccurate stitch work, but they've nailed it on here, Nanjin Tam and the team. And he's a stickler for detail, Nanjin Tam. He's sort of well known for it, and his choice of materials and colours and so on has to be absolutely there. And he's done it again with this figure. The body itself has got some real heft to it, and it feels like a quality body. It feels like you're holding a quality body here. We'll quickly check articulation. I'm not going to put this under too much pressure around the leg area, but yeah, you've got what feels like a double joint there at the knee. There's plenty of movement at the hip as well. I believe there's a waist. Yeah, there's a good waist swivel going on there. Butterfly joints at the arms, I believe. Yeah, butterfly joints there. The arms will extend up pretty much to about 45 degrees. I don't think there's a double bend. Oh no, there is a double bend there. He said it'll go right up to that 90 degree shoulder height. So yeah, that's good to see. So the articulation's good, and as I say, the body feels really good quality, as it does with both the Spock and the Sulu figure. Moving up to this shirt now. This shirt is really, really nicely done. The material feels quality. It's that really, really tight knit weave that the shirts were in the original TV show. Stitch work is great. That collar is spot on. Color is really nice. The fit, the fall, just everything there, as far as I can see, is on point. Down to the insignia on each of the wrists, which I believe that is material. I mean, a lot of times I've seen these things attached and they're plastic that's just been glued on, and then over time they peel off. But that feels like it's material there. Around the waist you get this gold sash, which was sort of indicative of the Terran Empire in the Mirror Universe. Probably one of my only niggles. Well, there's a couple of niggles I have with this figure, but this is one of them. Is this material that they've used? Now it is super screen accurate, super gold, super shiny, and it looks absolutely excellent. But unfortunately, the way this material's been designed, it's got sort of glitter on the top of it, and this can rub off when you're posing the figure. So I would say if you have this figure or you're thinking of picking this figure up and you are posing it, try to avoid getting a grip on this sash, because it will bits will fall off it if you're not super careful with it. But yeah, looks fantastic. Back to the shirt. Lovely weave, lovely stitch work, colour absolutely on point. The insignia here on both breasts are really nicely done. You've got the Terran Empire logos, and obviously what denotes his rank probably, and then the other Terran Empire symbol there, which is done in plastic and material, and it looks like they're glued on to me, but they do feel super secure. It doesn't feel like they're going to pop off at any point. Like I said, I've had this figure from new. It's not a brand new release, and it has stood the test of time pretty well, as I said, apart from that belt, which can get a bit flaky. I've attached the phaser and the communicator because you've got two magnets either side. I'll just take this one off so you can see. And you can see a slight lump there underneath the pants, at the top of the pants, and these are the magnets. Now you can use these for any of the accessories. You can attach the knife. I'll try and do this on camera without knocking him off kilter. But yeah, the knife will attach there. You've got one around the other side. You can attach the phaser. Well, you can't actually attach the phaser on that side, simply because the magnet itself is on the left-hand side of the phaser. So the phaser really is designed for this side. If you're not wanting to use the knife. Probably another only really minor niggle is that this magnet on this side, which you can see just under there, is directly positioned where that sash should be, which can, I don't like futzing this sash too much for fear of the gold rubbing off. But yeah, it's slightly, I mean, you can futz it around ever so slightly, and have the communicator on that side, or the knife and the phaser on this side. Fair to mention at this point, I'm just going to pop him back on this stand for a second, because I did miss out one of the accessories in the accessory section. It's such a tiny little thing, but yeah, it also comes with the agonizer, which is the little device that the Terran space crew attach to people who have perhaps not done what they're told, or done it badly, and it inflicts serious pain. And it's just a small piece of grey sculpted plastic with this red button on the top. But yeah, that's another one of the accessories that come with the figure, the agonizer. So back to Sulu himself. So let's take a look at the important stuff here. These are the other swap out hands that we didn't look at in the accessories section. Same quality of sculpt. There's a knife holding hand and then this more open palm one. But yeah, we're looking at the same levels of paint applications and sculpt there. But let's get down to the important parts. This head sculpt. I'm going to move this camera back ever so slightly so I can do what I normally do, which is dropping down the gap between the camera and the table here so we can get him as close as possible into shot. I have to say, I think this is a fantastic head sculpt. I really do. Fixed neck. And straight away there isn't an angle there for me that isn't George Takei or Hikaru Sulu. They've gone for a specific look. What I'll do actually at this point, I do believe, I think if I can just bring my phone in here, get it to open up, you can see what I mean here about the accuracy on this head sculpt. Drop him down a little bit there and get that into shot, and it's that particular look that they've gone for there. It's almost as though they've gone for that specific shot, actually. If I dip the head down ever so slightly, maybe getting to stand up a little bit here. If you dip the head down ever so slightly, I think they may very well have used that particular photo as reference material, as you can see there. Yeah, I think it's a superb head sculpt. Absolutely. Is it 100%? No. Perhaps not, maybe, but it's damn close. I think it really is. It's exceptionally good. Is it 100%? No, but exceptionally good. But yeah, let's take a look at the details on this head sculpt now. I'm just lift it back up. As I say, fixed neck head sculpt here, but you've got a good range of motion going on in there. Now, the skin tones and texture and sculpt are very, very good indeed. We'll start with this hair, actually. The individual hairs have been picked out. The colour is right, even down to that swept forward section that's falling over his left eye there. Really, really well done hair. Skin tone and texturing, really good. The paint applications are on point. The colour is right for the skin. The eyes are nice and glassy. He's got that smirk on his face with the creases in the cheek area there. There's a slight greying between the eyebrow and the eye itself on the eyelid, which is absolutely on point. And you've even got the scar down this side of the face here, which is really, really nicely sculpted. Really well done. Not too much. As you can see from that photograph that we were just looking at, it's just right, the tone of that scar. So yeah, paint application's great, sculpt is great, eyes are lovely and glassy, and I just think it's an exceptionally good head sculpt there from EXO-6. So let's get him back on the stand and go in for final thoughts. Did mention proportions there, and this is probably a good time to actually talk about this. If I did have a niggle with this figure, it's the size. Now, it's pretty much, as you'll see when we go over to the showcase, EXO-6 have given him virtually identical, if not identical, proportions to the Spock figure. So pretty much put them up side by side, and they are identical height. Now, call me overly picky, but Leonard Nimoy was 5'11" 3/4" tall, and George Takei is 5'8" tall. So there is a height difference there. So this is a good, nearly 3 or 4 inches taller than Sulu, but both figures are exactly the same height. So if I was to be really, really pedantic, I would say the proportions are ever so slightly off in the height. But really, that is probably my only complaint about this figure. So final thoughts. I think it's wonderful work from EXO-6. I think it's fantastic. It displays beautifully. I think that head sculpt is not 100%, but it's near as damn it makes no difference. I think it's a great head sculpt. It captures that sort of devilish quality that George Takei got to live out in that particular episode, because he really does ham it up, and you can see he's enjoying being evil, and that's reflected in that head sculpt, entirely mischievous and evil looking head sculpt. So head sculpt not 100%, but still brilliant. Materials used in the outfit, absolutely on point. Screen accuracy is there. Bodies of a really, really high quality. Pleather boots are always going to be a bit of an issue, but it's going to increase the price point if you're using real leather. Minor niggle with that gold sash, which tends to flake, but if you're not too careful with it. But on the whole, I think this is a phenomenal piece from EXO-6, and a score out of 10. Ooh. Now, that's a difficult one. I'm going to give this a 9. 8.5. 8.5 on a bad day, 9 on a good day. It loses points, and these are minor things which contribute to it losing a point and a half or a point. Once again, as I said, that sash, perhaps that head sculpt isn't absolutely 100%, but which head sculpt is, and the proportions. So a few minor gripes there, bringing it down from a 10, but overall, I still think it's a phenomenal piece. If you are a Star Trek fan, an original series Star Trek fan, it really is a must-have in the collection. It's an iconic piece from an iconic episode of the original series. So there you have it. We will settle with a 9 for Hikaru Sulu. I hope this review's been useful for you. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please drop a comment in the comment section below. What's your take on this figure? Do you have it in the collection? Do you think my score is off? Do you? What are your thoughts on EXO-6? What are your thoughts on the original series? Nothing is off menu, so please drop a comment in the comment section below. And as I mentioned before, please mash that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're not missing any of the good stuff that's coming up on the channel. What do we have coming up? I'm not going to go into individual figures simply because there so much of it coming up, but we have got more from EXO-6. We've got Krug from Star Trek 3: The Search for Spock. We have got Savick from Star Trek 2: The Wrath of Khan. We've got stuff from InArt, Hot Toys, Susu Toys, Premiere Toys, Present Toys. Yeah, we've got quarter scale, we've got 6 scale, we've got statues, a raft of stuff. So please, as I said, mash that bell notification icon so you're not missing anything. And of course, we will be having more episodes of the now infamous Don't Make Me Choose, where I take 2 comparable collectibles or figures, bung them in a ring together, let them beat 7 bells out of each other till a winner is announced, and unfortunately the loser has to say goodbye to us. But yeah, more of those episodes coming up as well. So I suppose all it remains for me to say is a massive thank you for watching from myself and Hikaru Sulu. Take care of yourselves, happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.